Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 BMW M3 Competition. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. We have a beautiful M3 finished off in a Turin red metallic. MSRP is just over $93,000, and this is powered by the 3-liter twin power turbo inline 6 paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 503 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 3,400-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. Top speed is 180 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3 and a height of 56.5 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the M3 Competition, let's start up front with the kidney grille. So on this model, it has a very nice design, finished off in all gloss black. There's the M3 Comp badge, forward-facing camera right in the middle, as well as a few parking sensors and the sensor for the adaptive cruise, nicely tucked away over on that driver's side. Now there's plenty more cutouts on both sides of that, as well as the far edges of the bumpers to provide even more airflow and aerodynamics with a few more additional parking sensors. This has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a dark housing to them. And then what I love about the M3 Competition is the hood lines. They match nicely and go off of the top of the kidney grille. So that way everything is nicely incorporated, a little bit of some indentions around that BMW badge, but I think it gives it a great look. And then working our way to the side, this has a very nice set of gloss black wheels. They have the multi-spoke design to them, as well as the brake calipers for this model being finished off in black. M3 Comp badge is just behind that. And then for the side mirrors, finish off in gloss black with a camera and a turn signal. Now the M3 Comps come with the carbon fiber roof. Not only gives it a cool look, but also helps give it a lower center of gravity. All the window trim is blacked out, and the side skirt is blacked out as well. So it matches the black corners that are located up front, giving it a nice look. Now as a sedan, it also has a nice side design to it with a few curved lines here and there. We have some up at the height of the door handles and then just above that lower side skirt. Now in back, this has a small trunk mounted spoiler finished off in gloss black. There's a backup camera, LED taillights, all of the parking sensors, and then even more gloss black in that lower diffuser with the quad tip dual exhaust, which we can start up remotely. Triple tap that lock button. Here we go. You can also triple tap on that again if you would like to shut the exhaust off, and then you can use the key fob or the electronic button underneath to open up the trunk lid. Now this is a family style vehicle. You have plenty of room with the back seats up. There's a net on one side, storage bin over on this passenger side, and then you can even fold down all 3 back seats. So pull on those handles and that gives you a lot more interior space, making it that much more practical to drive. Up top you can just close the trunk lid or lock the vehicle at the same time. Now if you do lock it, like you just heard, we have the proximity door handles, so you can unlock it from the back, which is very convenient to have. Now paired with this exterior, we have the Tartufo leather interior. So there's the two-tone design on the door panel, Harman Kardon for the sound system, there's the interior ambient lighting, a little bit of storage, and then brushed aluminum accents as well. And at 5'10", hopping into the M3, I have a good bit of space. Now there's no storage pockets behind either seat. Right in the middle, there's air vents, your climate adjustments, and a few auxiliaries. And at my height, I have about an inch and a half above my head. So I can actually sit upright. You can be a little bit taller than me if you needed to, but it's a comfortable place to be. You put car seats back here or just have people back here in general. Now you can also fold down the middle seat so you can gain access to the back. There's no armrest or additional cup holders, however. But we have a lot of visibility. No sunroof or anything because of the carbon fiber roof. And as we work our way to the front seats, door panel is just like the rear. There's memory seating adjustments, trunk release, power folding side mirrors, and the rest of the window adjustments. And then a little bit more lateral support for the seats with the M3 badge up top. They are automatic. However, there's the manual adjustment for the leg support. And then once we hop inside, we're greeted with a solid black leather steering wheel, the M steering wheel, of course. It is heated, tons of carbon fiber. All of the BMW colors are stitched within it as well. On this left side, there's cruise and adaptive cruise control settings. Right side, there's volume, tuning, as well as Bluetooth and voice commands. There's even carbon fiber on the paddle shifters, and then M1 and M2. Well, let's fire this back up though and get some exhaust clips of the M3. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, on the left side there's miles per hour as well as fuel. Right side there's tach along with engine temperature and what gear the vehicle is in. Now if I use the middle button on the right side of the steering wheel, you can actually scroll through some content, and just depends on what you'd like to see, you can quickly bring this up. So you don't have a whole lot to go through, but it is very helpful to have that front and center. All the driving modes you can quickly take a look at, PSI, live readouts for your horsepower and torque, even G-force meters too. And if I scroll over to the right, this does have a head-up display. So there's the standard view along with directional, which adds the compass. Reduced is going to be just like standard, and that is all that you get. So there's no layout configurations like in some other models. You just have content and the head-up display. Now you also have M1 and M2, like I mentioned earlier. This is how you can activate the exhaust as well as the drive modes for this model. Now on the left side, there's all the headlight adjustments, a little bit of storage down below, and then working our way to the continuous screen now. On the home screen, there's navigation along with your setup. You can scroll over to your media and phone, look at your tire pressure, engine. You have My BMW. You can even add some info as needed, just depending on what you would like to see. Pushing on home on the upper left gets you back to where we started. And if I push on the 4 squares, now we can look at a lot more info like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and your drift analyzer. So in this family style sedan, you can go through all this information, look at your best drift, and monitor all of those stats. So this can be your fun weekend car to really rip around in. Back with these settings, you can look at your interior lighting, you have your doors, displays, different driver settings, all of that important info. And then you can quickly get into your phone, music, even pull up the nav in full screen. Now right in the middle, you can get into your climates, so you can adjust your heated and ventilated seats, your fan speed, where you like the air to go, and then you have the temperature dials too that you can quickly get into. Now there's more carbon fiber underneath that with brushed aluminum, 2 air vents, power and volume for the radio, there's tuning, and then even more carbon fiber for this lid. When we open this up, there's wireless charging in the back, 2 cup holders, as well as some additional auxiliaries. And then we have all the controls that you can use for this screen. So if you don't feel like reaching up and touching that screen, you have the rotary dial and the rest of the controls to quickly go through that. Now on the left of the shifter, there's traction control, a shortcut to the camera system, parking sensors, and the engine start stop. And then we have a few settings behind that. Let's start off with M mode. So if I push on that and we go into sport, that is actually how you can change the gauge cluster setup. It will change up the head-up display, so where you can see the tach full screen. And then you also have all these settings that you can go into. This is currently how it is set up. So you can just push on setup to quickly get through that and change it as needed. And this is how you can also get into M1 and M2. So currently M1 is going to be all of the comfort and efficient settings. M2 is going to give us all the sport and sport plus settings. So very cool to see that, depending on how you would like to drive. In order to put this into reverse now, push it to the left for neutral, up is for reverse where it will hold, and we have that 360 camera system. So you can quickly see around the entire vehicle, and it's awesome to see the actual color of this BMW on this screen. Car wash setting is just another top-down view. And then to go into drive, push it over to the right one. If I push on this camera system, now we have the full-facing forward camera. Pop on this one more time for the sport mode, so you can use these paddles or you can actually shift using the shifter. And then on the back side, there's park, and you can adjust how quick or slow you want the transmission to shift, which is awesome to see. There's also auto hold, the e-brake, as well as the exhaust note button. A little bit of storage in the center console along with an auxiliary, and then you have plenty of space in the glove box. There's also the dome lights up top, and then a good bit of visibility over both shoulders. With thin pillars in the back, makes it easy to see over both sides. As we set off now behind the wheel for this almost six-figure BMW M3, I absolutely love driving this vehicle. Now, if you don't get the Competition, you just get a, what I'll call a base M3, you can actually get the 6-speed manual transmission. So you have to get one or the other, manual in the base, automatic for the Competition. Rear wheel drive, all wheel drive. You can get rear wheel in this too, and you can configure it too to where it's not in the 4-wheel drive setting. So you have a lot of different configurations for this sedan, depending on what fits your budget and what you are looking to do. Now, I'm going to put it into the M mode setting. I'm going to put the transmission shifts to the quickest. We're going to put it into M2 as well, because that is where I have everything set up and ready to go. Wow. I'm not doing anything too crazy today. I've been able to drive this a lot. Not this exact one, but not even quarter throttle. This is a fast sedan. If you're looking for a performance-oriented vehicle, but you have a family, you need the practicality of a sedan, this is a perfect option to go with. I personally would probably go with the manual transmission. You can tune that and get some power back into it because the Comp has a little bit more power. And what I really like about this is that by using the button on the back of the shifter, so you can put it into one of the 3 settings, depending on whether you want to use the paddles or you want the car to shift itself, it's a completely different vehicle. So right now in setting 1, I want to say it's slow and sluggish. It's still pretty good. It's more of like a normal car. So if you're just driving on a daily basis, you don't want it to rev out higher, you just want it to shift normal, or even with the paddles, you can easily do that. If you're on back roads, you're on the track, you want to do some better driving, look at how quick that is. I mean, you can row through those gears as quickly or as slowly as you want. It's such a cool it's got so many settings that you're buying more than just one car basically. But for almost 100 grand, some other options you can look at, you have the Cadillac CT5 4 or 5V Blackwing. You can get into an RS7, maybe some AMGs from Mercedes. You have a good bit of sedan options for that price tag. All are going to suit your needs. However, you have different options, of course, for whatever you like. For me, I drive a lot of BMWs. I'm a huge fan of them, and I don't think you can go wrong with this M3. If you need a little bit more space, you can go up to the M5. But this is such a good driving vehicle. It is so planted, very quiet too. You're in a 6-figure BMW, but you're in a BMW nonetheless. So you get all of the refinements from this luxury brand to really make this a great daily driver. With it in 2nd gear, here we go. And just like that, we are up to speed. Now, this is such a fun family style sedan to get. I love everything about all of the different settings you can put this into, just depending on how you would like to drive for the day. Now, being the Competition, it's going to cost significantly more, especially with the options that you want compared to the base M3. So just depending on your budget, what you're willing to spend, I'd say there's about a maybe a $25,000 difference between the two. And again, it's just speccing it with whatever options that you would like. But for me, this is definitely a great option to go with. I drive a lot of BMWs. I've been in other vehicles like the Cadillac competitors that I've mentioned, some of the AMG models from Mercedes, and they're all great, but the amount of BMWs that I drive and just how well they drive is something that has definitely drawn me to the brand. Now, they're also becoming more reliable too. Toyota has a small stake in BMW. I would comfortably say anything 2020 and newer is going to be pretty bulletproof and reliable. Obviously, you have to keep up with your maintenance for that. But personally, I'm looking at BMWs. My brother has a Toyota Supra, which is mainly BMW with the B58 engine. So you have the reliability now. You have a lot of performance. This is, I would say, one of the ultimate performance-oriented family-style sedans. that you can get. It is super comfortable, easy to drive to. You can put it into M1, or should I say, you can put it into the more efficient setting, which could be M1, and basically have a normal daily driver. So if you're stuck in traffic, you just want it to be more of a normal vehicle compared to what I'm doing right now. Let's pop it into drive, activate M1. Now everything is in efficient mode. Let's give it some gas here. And it just seems like a normal vehicle. Now we are in the second transmission setting there, so it's going to hold those gears a little bit more, but it's very nice to drive with the amount of tech that it has like that. Really good daily driver, plenty of room, comfortable, well refined as a BMW should be. And honestly, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I've been in them a lot. Not enough to have ownership experience, of course, but the times that I've been in them, it seems like a good platform to go with. If you need a little bit more space, you can opt for the M5, but the M3 is, I think it's a good size sedan, especially for the money. You're getting a lot of car for that money. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this walk around review and test drive in the 24 BMW M3 Competition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this car. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.